This is Andrew, and welcome back to MADMAN Review. In this episode, I would like to take you on a trip down memory lane as we take a look at the iconic Browning Auto 5, or A5. Its classic humpback receiver design is unmistakable, and you can tell it is an A5 at a glance. The Auto 5 has been in production for over 90 years, with over 2.7 million units manufactured and sold. This is a testament to the quality and reliability of the gun itself. Unfortunately, production stopped in 1998, but Browning started churning it out again less than a decade ago. Except, it is not really the A5 that we used to know and love. It looks like an Auto 5, and it's dubbed the A5, but that is where their similarity ends. It's built and operated differently, and Browning has the decency to tell us that right on the first line of their product description. Other than the iconic humpback design, the new Browning A5 is more reliable, cycles faster. Browning also went on to claim that this is the best performing and softest shooting recoil-operated autoloader on the planet. All this is thanks to modern technology that elevates the Browning A5 to a whole new level. To be fair to Browning, the new A5 performs well and lives up to its name as successor of the legendary A5. The original A5 is more popular and sought after not because the new one is inferior in terms of performance. Most of it is for sentimental reasons. If you are looking for a humpback shotgun, you might want to grab the original Browning Auto 5. If you are interested in that, I've included a link in the description below. But why should you consider buying the original Auto 5? The revolutionary design. The Auto 5 was the first of its kind. Browning historically invented the automatic shotgun. Technically, it's semi-auto, but that was what people called it back then. The gun was designed using a long recoil method of operation. That means a gun uses the recoil to remove the spent shell and load in a new one from the magazine. The barrel and bolt are locked during the recoil, and they compress the recoil springs. Then the bolt locks to the rear, but the barrel is pushed forward by the spring. The bolt remains in place until the barrel comes back, which is when the cartridge extraction happens and a new round is loaded in. The bolt then releases and closes by the recoil spring, ready to shoot. Although all that moving parts help absorb the recoil a bit, the Auto 5 is still a beast to shoot if you're not mentally prepared for it. It kicks pretty hard. Multiple configurations. The OG Auto 5 is an iconic firearm from a bygone era. Its rugged steel and wood construction was complemented with different models in 12, 16, and 20 gauge. On top of that, you can choose between different barrel lengths, rib options, and heavy or light configurations. There are a fair number of variations of the Auto 5, although the most popular one is the 16 gauge. People used to call it the Sweet 16. Why is it so amazing? It's a bit smaller and lighter than your classic 12 gauge. Everything is just right with the Sweet 16, which is why finding it is the trickiest part if you are in the market for an Auto 5. There are a lot of options, you might say, but regardless of the configuration you choose, it's still a very solid firearm. At its core is the kind of gun that your grandfather took into the field while wearing a red flannel and blue jeans. He did not care about the different camo wraps that we do nowadays. He did not care which company the shells came from. The Auto 5 is a lot like that. It's a no-nonsense gun and one hell of a workhorse. You just grab it and a bunch of shells and head out, and it'll go bang when you pull the trigger. The long history. The Browning Auto 5 is an iconic firearm. There's a lot of history in old guns, and that you just cannot recreate nowadays. The fact that we almost never come to know the Browning Auto 5 is one reason why it is loved by almost everyone. John Moses Browning himself had to navigate around heart attacks, tempers, companies, and had to cross an ocean before we get the A5. Now here's a short story. His decades-long relationship with Winchester came to an abrupt end when there was a disagreement in terms of compensation for the Auto 5 design. So that 44-year collaboration went down the drain. He then went to Remington, but the president passed away due to a heart attack. It sucks because that happened right when Browning was waiting before the meeting. Running out of options, Browning took his design and traveled across the sea to Fabrique Nationale in Belgium. Luckily, the people there saw what the gun was capable of, and production began within just 2 months after the initial meeting. Browning cut a deal with FN by allowing them to have exclusive world rights to the designs and manufacturing, except the United States, since the tariffs were prohibitive. He convinced FN to allow Remington to manufacture the gun in the States, which was dubbed the Model 11. Finding a used Auto 5. To be clear, many semi-auto shotguns are more modern and reliable than the old Auto 5. You can grab the new A5 if you want. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the A5, and you should consider buying it if its features appeal to you. What I'm saying is that you should not buy it as a homage to John Moses Browning. A lot of people want the original Auto 5 mainly for sentimental reasons, although the gun itself still holds up very well. It aged like a fine wine. Some people might argue that the gun's design is outdated, but the fact that the price is still relatively high means that the gun is still in high demand. The original Auto 5 is made to withstand a lot of abuse, both from its users and the weather. So chances are that you won't be able to find one that is in mint condition. But think of it this way. Any signs of wear and tear should be treated as battle scars for the firearm, and you should wear them proudly. The gun certainly does. It changed how the world viewed shotguns, so it's worth picking the real and original Auto 5 if you have the chance. And there you have it. If you find this video educational and entertaining, give us a like. It really helps us out. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, consider clicking that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when a new episode comes out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.